Hey everyone! Sorry for leaving you for a bit without posting any new videos or responding to all of your comments, which, by the way, thank you so much for leaving. But I've actually been out of the country with my family on vacation, but the upside is that my trip inspired the topic of this video, which is going to be about traveling with a jpouch. And I know that this is a bit different than my first few videos, which have been talking more about F.A.P 101 kind of stuff, but I do think that this video is relevant for more people than just people with F.A.P, anyone out there with a jpouch or who is interested in learning what it's like living with a jpouch. Although I guess, maybe people with F.A.P might find it a bit more helpful just because from my research it seems like people with colitis or Crohn's have unfortunately already suffered increased bathroom frequency prior to getting their jpouch, so you guys might actually be a bit more accustomed to traveling with an increased bathroom dependency. But I mean, either way, I hope you find this video helpful. These are just some things that I learned while I was traveling for the first time with my jpouch that I wanted to try and share with you guys. So yeah, first things first is the thing that I was probably most worried about, which is whether or not you can take homoceptine on the plane, and as it turns out, you can take homoceptine in your carry-on, as long as you buy the small tube, which is, I believe it's 2.5 fluid ounces, and they make this in a larger size, but that exceeds the liquid limit set by the TSA, which is 3 fluid ounces. So yeah, I mean, as long as you buy the small tube and you just make sure that you package it in a little sandwich baggie like this, then you're set to go. But I would actually also suggest buying 2 small tubes and packing one in your check-in bag. Just in case, for whatever reason, I mean, this shouldn't happen, but if your carry-on homoceptine is confiscated, it's nice to have a backup just in case. But also, I think it's nice to be able to leave one thing of homoceptine in the hotel bathroom, and then also leave one in your purse, so that you don't have to worry about whether or not you forgot your homoceptine when you go out for the day. So yeah, it's just, convenience sake. But side note, if you are suffering from the infamous butt burn and you haven't tried homoceptine, I would highly recommend it. And I've tried quite a few things for butt burn, and actually maybe I'll try and make a video on the different creams and things that I've used for butt burn and talk about my experience with some of them. But so far for me, homoceptine has been the best. So yeah, check it out. Anyway, I guess when I'm talking about what you can bring on the plane, I also have a few suggestions as to what you might consider packing. First of which being a roll of your favorite toilet paper, and I would definitely suggest trying to fit this into your carry-on bag if you can, but if not, definitely try and squeeze it into your check-in bag. Just because I found that airplanes and restaurants and hotels don't always carry the highest quality of toilet paper. In fact, it's usually the cheapest quality of toilet paper. And my butt definitely noticed that pretty early on, within the first few days. My butt was pretty sore from using pretty cheap quality toilet paper so frequently. And while I tried to suck it up, I was definitely glad that I had a roll of soft toilet paper that I could alternate with and bring some relief to my poor butt. So yeah. And also, I found a few times that the places that we were staying didn't always anticipate my toilet paper usage, and unfortunately towards the end of our stay in these places, we occasionally ran out of toilet paper, so it was nice to just have an extra roll, for sure. And the next thing I'd recommend bringing goes out more for the new jpouchers out there, who are planning to wear a bathing suit on their trip and have a doctor like mine who advises that they shouldn't expose their new scar to direct sunlight right away. And that is some band-aids, and I found these really cool band-aids with sort of like funky designs, and I'm all about the funky designs, and I got these at Target. And I personally think that these sort of enhance the bathing suit ensemble, but that's just me. Um, but yeah, band-aids. um, I know that everyone out there has a different scar shape, and I'll definitely show you my scar in an upcoming video, but mine's sort of in the shape of a division symbol. So what I do is I just take two band-aids and just sort of make them in a cross shape and stick that over my scar, and it does a fine job of covering it, and plus they're water resistant or whatever, so you can swim in them without having to worry about them coming off or anything. And I think the first time I went in a bathing suit with my jpouch, I wasn't planning on going swimming or anything, and I tried to use a piece of gauze and some paper tape to cover it up, and once I put the sunblock on, the tape was just not sticking, and I just found it to be not a very effective method. So for me, band-aids work a bit better. So yeah, if you need to cover up your scar, I definitely recommend checking out some band-aids, especially the really funky colored band-aids. Yeah. And the last sort of jpouch related thing that I might suggest bringing in addition to, whatever is part of your normal jpouch bathroom routine would possibly be a piece of paper that has written on it something to the effect of, I have a disease called familial adenomatous polyposis, or whatever you may have, that causes me to go to the bathroom every 3 hours. Can I please use your restroom? Have that translated into whatever language the country you're going to speaks. And this is only applicable if you're going to a country that speaks a different language than you. And I didn't have a paper like this, so I'm not sure as to the usefulness or even the appropriateness of having something like this with you. But I did find myself thinking midway through my trip that it might be nice to have a little paper like this, just because, as I found out, I'm pretty bad at just going into a cafe or restaurant and using their restroom and walking out without being noticed by a waiter or someone. So, I sort of found myself thinking, well, this little, explanation might be a bit helpful in, getting them to understand why I need to use the restroom without buying something from them. But I don't know. I guess going along with that in sort of more of the day-to-day traveling with the jpouch stuff is just, working on that skill of being able to go into a cafe and using their bathroom without buying something from them. Again, I am not very good at it, as of yet at least, but it's something to definitely work on and trying to become more confident in doing that. And, I mean, you should always try at least. The worst thing that can happen is the waiter can tell you, no, I'm sorry, you can't use our bathroom without buying something from us. And, that's the worst. So, definitely try to go into cafe bathrooms and things like that without buying something and, see what happens.